Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, December 8th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Today's special guest is a fresh new face. He's an actor, writer, and singer, and I'm super excited to have him here in the dollhouse. Introducing, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Sett. How's everyone? Hi, Timothy. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's show. We had a great show yesterday with our girl Cherry Johnson, and it was amazing. So make sure you guys go back and check that interview out. Okay, I can't see Ryan. Is your camera on?
Can you see me now?
No, it's off.
Oh,
Try to switch it around.
hold
Yeah,
on one second. Let me see.
there you are.
Okay,
There you are. Now we can see you.
okay. How you doing, Stevie?
Wonderful. Welcome to the dollhouse. How are you doing today?
I am great. I actually just rushed from work, so I'm like, I took a half day off. I'm here. I'm good. I'm good to go.
Take your time. Take your time, definitely. So before we kick off this interview and conversation,
Mhm.
how has 2022 been for you thus far? Now, we're almost at the end of this year right here, 2022, going into 2023. How's 2023? If you could sum it up in one word, how would you sum it up?
Blessed.
Mm,
It's
okay.
where a lot of things have happened, family wise, personally, um, job wise, opportunities wise, and it went from like in the dumps, and I guess you call it in the dumps, to now a little bit better, where I can, stand on my own 2 feet. I have my own apartment now. I'm working on a few projects here and there, so good friends still around me, family's still strong. It's great, you know.
And it's great to have you here. I see my girl Ray is here. Hey, Ray. Love and hugs from Zurich, Switzerland. That is my girl. So thank you, Ray, for coming in and joining the interview. We're going to have some more amazing guests. We have another interview after this one. So make sure you guys tune in for Dante Fambro. He's going to be joining me at 4. But right now, we are here with actor, writer, editor, and cinematographer Ryan Sett. So tell us a little bit about yourself because you're a fresh new face. And when I reached out to you, you were like, well, I'm kind of new to the scene. I'm just getting my feet. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Ryan, where you grew up, and how many brothers and sisters, if you don't mind us asking.
Uh, well, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, and I have 13 years in Florida, so I have a good amount of sun soaked in me. But now I'm in Jersey right now, and along for the ride, I have my one sister. Her name is Nina. She actually has her own custom cake business. So I used to be her best taste test in the world, but my diet kind of changed, so I can't do that anymore. But besides that, yeah, I've been part of a few things right now, and there's some writing projects that I'm a part of right now. Can you see me? It's a writing project I'm part of right now. And like I did tell you, I wasn't sure of what I could talk about because I don't think I have that much, but I thought about it, and I have a few things. Right now, I'm a part of a TV show. I'm a writer for a TV show called Brothers Lowell, and
Okay.
it's being pitched right now to some networks. So once that gets on somebody's desk and they accept it, you just steamroll towards the screen. Um, and that show is actually about three brothers who live in Seattle, and they're just living, loving, while their inner demons kind of destroy them from the inside out. So it's a family dynamic, really intense show. So we would like to see it be put on the screen and get some life.
Now, you've done some other projects as well, too. I've done a little research,
Oh,
and you've done 2021 finished, Casters this year, and then Path. Out of these projects that I'm naming, I'm pretty sure it's more, you have a very extensive catalog. Which project holds a very special place to your heart?
well, um, honestly, I'm gonna kind of put them all under the same umbrella, only because the creator of all three projects is the same person, and that same person is my big brother, mentor, just a strong spirit, and just a good person to me. J. Marshall Evans. He's been in my life for roughly 7 years now, and he's been like a creative brother. Like he just pushes me to do everything, and he instills in me some knowledge as well. So I just kind of take it, run with it, and I wouldn't even be in the projects I'm doing right now without him. So I just
So
have to thank you.
yes, and going into the new year, we're talking about manifestation and so many things. Are there any people that you would like to work with in the future and collaborate with going into 2023?
Well, I can say I'm actually getting a chance to do that right now. I have a project coming up. It's a play. It's going to be held at Tribal Innovation Theater Company in Central Jersey, headed by one of my dear friends and dear brother, Jerome Arthur John. Um, I'm working with a few artists that I've always wanted to work with in the theater scene, and now I get to kind of have like a nice concentrated dose of about, say, it's about 8 of us, I think it is, and
Wow.
and that's opening the last week of January and the first weekend in February. That's going to be at the Villagers Theater. It's going to be a very intense show. Quickly about, if I can, it's basically a love story, but it's based in 1855 in Tennessee, and it's during slavery, but the focus isn't on slavery. So we want to put that out there. It's really about a love story and how two people can bump heads, go against their odds, and find love, have it, or if they can have
Right.
it. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. No.
Okay. Okay. So you also do music as well too. Who are some of your musical influences?
Uh, Funny you ask that. Growing up, I actually enjoyed listening to Jasmine Sullivan. Eric Benet is one of my favorite artists. Michael Bublé is up there too. And I mean, I like all genres, of course. I'm a music head, but those three I grew up with in high school, along with a lot of gospel artists, because everyone around me was, of the church, loved their voices, loved the harmonies, and I just kind of fell in love with that as well, listening to it at church or with my friends. So Donnie McClurkin, Smokey Norfolk, Fred Hammond. You talking about all of those names? So yeah, it's pretty much all of that in one.
So how do you find the balance with everything? Because you have so many titles under your belt. You've got actor, editor, cinematographer, and writer as well as singer. So how do you find the balance with everything?
Very good question. I think day by day, I kind of set some boundaries for, say, an hour for this, hour for that. I'm a night owl, so after I come home around 9, 10 o'clock, I actually start my, as what we call, a passion job. So I'm doing studying for projects I'm writing on, work on some music, to work out. When we did the film troupe, to make those films, The Path, like you saw, and finished, those were scheduled on the weekends. So it's just really just being organized, just trying my best to be organized.
Yes. And being in this business is all I just spoke with Cherry Johnson, who's also an actress and she's a writer as well too
I
yesterday.
felt it.
And we were talking about balance and balancing out family and being on the road, being away from family. How do you manage with that, especially with this pandemic still going on? I know when it first hit us, when was that, 2020, 2021? It affected a lot of people. And when you've mentioned being on stage, all I could think about was Broadway and how Broadway got shut down and how it affected a lot of actors that were being able to go and perform on Broadway on the main stage and everything. So for you, how has it affected you and the business back from 2020 to 2021?
Funny, back in 2020, one of my jobs I held was working for the Broadway theaters. So as soon as they shut down, I had no job. Of course, a lot of us didn't either as well, but I was working with the theater, so I was like, oh, it kind of took me from my core. But not having a job as many of us did not have one, I had more time to actually focus on the craft. So projects started coming around to do, the wonderful Zoom realm came along, and we started doing readings, writing projects down, writing ideas down. And now it's where those projects that were, I guess, manifested during that time of the virtual world, we can actually put it on his feet now. So I feel like, great, take the mask off, get vaccinated if you are not, and do what you got to do and jump on stage. Um, family wise, actually, it's been a little rough. Yeah, some unfortunates in the family, but we all stayed strong and came back from it to where just Thanksgiving, my cousin was proposed to on Thanksgiving. So everybody's just trying to, keep pushing for the right stuff. So it was good. It's good.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. And it's kind of broken up a little bit. And what I mean by broken up is that we see just a little bit of normalcy, whereas before everybody was still inside the house and we were just trying to be careful. We still are being cautious and everything. And I know for me, I'm a big
Mhm.
germaphobe. So my brother was in the military, and I think it kind of rubbed off on me a little bit. Like I was sanitizing and wiping down everything, even my purse. Like
Mhm.
it was crazy. I
Yep.
was like, Lord Jesus, I don't know what to do. How are we going to get out of this?
Mhm.
But I made it, and I haven't caught it, thank God. And no sick days here on this platform. So I'm thankful for that as well, too. But a lot of actors, there was a lot of uncertainty because being on Broadway, and I've interviewed people that have done Broadway and were in the mid process of doing a show, maybe for example Cinderella or Kinky Boots or whatever, and the show had to get postponed and halted because the thing all of a sudden just affected everybody. My mom even said this. I had a conversation with her, and she was saying how we didn't expect this coming. We did
Mhm.
not expect this
Yeah.
coming at all. It affected a lot of actors.
Yeah. And it hit hard. I mean, for every category of business, but still, it's the creatives we were like, well, we don't really have like certain degrees and things to kind of like jump back in there so fast. So it was rough. People were moving from New York out of New York because they were like, well, I have no job, so I might as well have to find something elsewhere. It was a little rough. It was a little rough. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So going into the new year of 2023, because the theme of this right now is vision. The theme this week is vision. And I'm curious to know, it baffles me and it kind of makes me excited at the same time. I want to know what do you have planned for 2023? What are you looking forward to for the new year? Because I know I like to create vision boards, and everything that I planned that's like a goal or something that I want to work on to going into the new year, it's like it's already planned in fruition. It's like building a house. So for you, what are you looking forward to for the new year?
Well, first off, like I mentioned before, that play that's going to be at the Villagers Theater is called Love, Freedom, and Other Lives from the South. So that's going to be great. That's starting off my 2023 and right in January. Besides that, I'm trying to get into a feature. I've done shorts, but I want to get into a feature, and I feel like next year it should be the year that I at least just step in there and try something. You know. Um, Besides that, as a funny note, my apartment, I've had it for a few months, and I don't have any furniture. So my plan is actually buy some furniture and kind of make this more of a home for myself. It's just been, just trying to pay rent for a while. So now I'm like, okay, I need to make it a little more cozy. So that's on a personal note, for me. So I can have that energy in here, calm and complete, and then I can go out there and give my best. Yeah.
And you know what? I was watching Whoopi Goldberg yesterday. She did an interview with Sherry Shepherd, and she was talking about how she bought a home in Italy and how she was saying, I want to buy something that I can call my own. And I'm all about comfort, self care, and finding the things, indulgence, and finding the things that make you happy and bring you joy. So I'm glad you touched on that because there's a lot of people out here who are looking, who have homes, just freshly moved in, and they're like, okay, I want to make this my space. And where I'm going with this is we have to find a space for us that when we work as creators, as content creators, you're a producer, you're a writer, you are a musician, to find a place where we can go, where we can be at solace and at peace, and where nobody will bother us while we're in our creative flow and juices. And I've interviewed, I've talked with a couple actors. They would text me back and forth off the scenes here and there, and they would ask me, what can I do to find my comfort zone in my space? And a friend of mine, he just not too long ago, I said, you have to find what works for you, what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel good at the end of the day. And I know for me, home is where the heart is. So when you find an environment where you can go and you feel comfortable and at ease and at peace, you create the scenery for yourself. Just like you create a story, it's your story to tell. You find what works for you. And
Yeah.
that's basically what Whoopi was saying yesterday. Like, she bought a home in Italy and she said, I want a place where I can go, where I can just go. I don't have to worry about answering the phone or anything. I just be in my thoughts, collect my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And mental health is a big thing as well, too, in this business. We
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure we are taking care of ourselves and our well-being. And self-care is something that I preach all the time on my platform. And the reason why I come on, I'm so rejuvenated and happy and refreshing. You guys can see the glow. The glow is compliments of my makeup artist, Melanie. So thanks for that. But at the same time, I want people to take away something from this, and that is self-care is important.
Mm-hmm.
Protecting your mental health and finding your place, your
Yeah.
sacred place where you can go and you can be happy and you can be at ease and, more importantly, at peace and not have to worry about everything. And you can just create. And I know from my vision board for 2023, which I posted on my right here on my Instagram, you guys can check it out. I stayed up till 11 o'clock working on that thing because I had so many thoughts, so many things that I want to work on going into the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thankful that I did. I was tired, but at the end of the day, it was so worth it. So absolutely.
I hear you. I think it was Jennifer Lewis that said something that really caught me off guard. She said that everybody wants to, be in the limelight and just get the kudos on stage or on screen, but how do you take care of yourself or do what you have to do for yourself when you're not in front of people? So it was basically about the self-help thing, just taking care of the mental health, that aspect. And when I heard that, I said, I agree with that because, like you just said, where can you relax and recharge? If you don't have that, then you're just running on fumes. In my book, yeah. So
Absolutely. And she's 100% right because we just not too long ago lost an actor. I can't really say the word because you know how they are, but we lost an actor. Let's just say due to mental health issues. Jason David Frank, who was the one of the original Power Rangers, and you guys heard the story. If you know, you know. But I'm glad that she touched on that because in this business, it's like, yeah, it does a lot to you. And who was it? One of the biggest female rap artists in the world, Cardi B, even spoke about anxiety, getting in the studio. And I was like, wow, I never knew this about her because we see her on stage performing. It's like you never know what a person is going through behind the scenes
right,
unless you actually sit and talk with them like how we're doing now.
yeah,
And on my platform, this I wouldn't really consider these interviews, but more so conversations that everybody at home can take from as well too. Because people see everything about us being in the public eye now. Because I don't really consider myself a public figure. Yes, I kind of am in the limelight, but I'm not in the limelight like that, like a Beyonce or a Cardi B. I'm just, a down to earth hometown girl. But the thing about it is getting in this business as you get up and up and up, when those doors closed, when those cameras off and everything, the script is down, when you're home alone by yourself, you have to sit there and internalize everything. What are your opinions? Because there's going to be so many opinions of what people have to say and critiquing. And of course, the press, the media, all of these things, it
yeah,
will drive you insane if you do not protect your energy and your peace.
right,
And another one of the greatest female singers in the world, Beyonce, her mom even said it, that she doesn't read reviews, she doesn't read press or anything. And I know people praise me and say, oh my God, you did such an amazing job on the interview. And I receive it. But then there's sometimes where it becomes overwhelming, and that's not a bad thing, but I'm just like, wow, I've never known that people really care.
mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing. You got people in your corner who care and love you and adore you. And that's a beautiful thing. it means the world to me that people appreciate what I do here on this platform and what people take away from it. So yeah, protect your peace, protect your energy, because in this business, is it becomes overwhelming, and that's a lot to people. That's a lot to people. So make sure that you are staying in tune with who you are and don't lose yourself.
I do appreciate that, and just to say thank you for you to you as well, because I I caught a few of the the previous interviews, and just your vibe and energy is so calming and so just it's just wonderful. So I just say thank you for even having me on the show. So
You,
definitely.
you're welcome. And that's my thing. A lot of people get reluctant. I know you kind of reluctant when I reached out to you, like, what is this about? And a lot of people ask me that question, like, what are these interviews about? And I said, no, I'm not trying to get in your business. And that's no shade to Wendy Williams or Tasha K or any of them, or Howard Stern or any of them, let them do their
Mhm.
thing. But that's not my forte. I don't do this to get in people's business. I do this to establish reports and conversation. And the audience takes something from it. Because there are days at the end of the episodes where audience members now, new followers, will DM me and they will say, thank you, Miss Stevie, for this. I've never really considered my energy calming. And my mom says, you have a gift. You have a gift where people feel comfortable enough to come and talk to you. I'm always, even in the real world, with my friends, when I'm not doing styled, when the Miss Stevie persona is off, and I'm just Stevie. And my friends will even tell me, like, I feel comfortable coming to confide in you and talk to you about things. It's always been that way for me.
Good.
So when people come here on my platform, I want them to know that they have a sacred place, that they have a safe space where they can come and talk about whatever it is and not be judged and tell their story. And then someone in the audience might take away from that story and say, well, wow, I've been through this also as well too. I've encountered this, or I've experienced this, and that's crazy. You never know a person's story until you sit down and you have a conversation with them, like how we're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels like I could be, in PJs with a cup of coffee and just sipping some coffee with Stevie. That's how I feel like. So,
And that's
so it's nice.
what I want. That's what I want for people. I want people when they come in here, not it to be so, oh my gosh, she's in. What questions is she going to ask me? No, we just go with the flow. It's just conversation.
Yeah,
And I don't do this to get in people's business or anything. That's not my cup of tea. I don't do that. And I do this because I want to bring people joy. I want to bring people happiness. And I want people to take something away from the knowledge of these interviews. Like yesterday with my guest, Cherry, she gave us so many gems on supporting Black-owned businesses, and I've dropped a couple gems as well too. And it was just like a conversation. And she said the same thing. She said, I'm sort of reluctant about doing the interview, and we went and we talked. We were shooting the breeze for hours. Like it was an hour-long interview, and people were just in awe of so much knowledge that she had that she was dropping yesterday on yesterday's episode. So that one was very monumental. Almost every episode that people have watched of this platform, they took something from it, and they're just like, "Wow, I didn't know this about this person or this person." And I've interviewed Tommy Davidson as well too, and we know him from the Proud Family and Live in Color.
right.
um, he told a little bit of his story, and I've already done my research on it, but the audience were just like, wow, to know that you went through this during your childhood, you never knew this about you. So you never know what a person could be going through unless you sit down, because we're now in a day and age where everybody's like, they want to catch up or jump to conclusions about something. And I'm kind of guilty of it. And shout outs to my fraternal Alan Yankee. He will give me a little tap on the shoulder, like, girl, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Why, like, don't jump the gun so fast. Don't jump ahead of yourself so fast. Sit down, evaluate, and have a conversation. And that's what I've learned to do before jumping ahead and even making an assumption. That's what we have to do. So we're in a day and age, we're in 2022, and it's millennials. Some of us, being young and youthful, we jump ahead. But sit down and talk to a person before you even type or
Right,
put
right.
something out.
Right.
Talk about it.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yes. So I hope you guys all took something from that. So again, I want people to feel comfortable here. I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. And I try to make the dollhouse a sacred space where people can come and just, whatever it is, that you feel that's on your mind, you tell it. It's your story. I don't control no one's story. I let people tell their story however they see fit. So yeah,
one thing I kind of live by, um, and it's helped me to, whenever there's a problem or something going on in your life, the little quote I created, I guess you could coin it, whatever you want to call it, but it's don't dwell on the problem, dwell on the fix. So it's where you take so much energy to either complain, vent, or just kind of go through that angry, frustrated phase. But all that time could have been spent on finding the solution, finding the resolution. So whenever like boom, something hits you, you just take a moment, say, okay, I've accepted this has happened. Okay, fine. What's next? Because you're gonna go that route anyways, but just it's taking so much time to get there. Just get there, you know. So to me, that calms me down, kind of resets me, and says, okay, I'm at rock bottom. Only way to go is up.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And find a place because basically starting in the new year is like pressing when this pandemic happened, is like pressing the reset button and having to start all over again, begin again. Find what works for you in the new year. Manifestation, goals, dreams, passions, whatever that is. Reset. And that's how I live. It's like literally being reborn again. So yeah.
I
All
agree.
right. Fashion dolls. Do we have any questions for Ryan or myself? We're going to get started on our holiday games here. We're going to have some fun because you guys know Christmas will be here right around the corner before you know it. And then the New Year's will be here. So I hope you guys are already getting your shopping done. The first one is called the Rapid Five Holiday Edition. And Ryan has to tell me 5 things you can't live without for the Christmas holidays. And also, the second one is going to be called Holiday This or That. And you guys in the audience are more than welcome to participate at home as well, too. So you're going to have two choices to get rid of some things. If you could get rid of anything that is excess or too much of, or something you want to keep for the holiday, you say yay or nay. You've got one choice. So you got to choose one thing. All right. So we're going to start off with the Rapid Five Holiday Edition. Ryan, what are 5 things you can't live without for the Christmas holidays?
5 things. Say it one more time. I didn't get to hear that the last
Five
part of it.
things you can't live without for the Christmas holidays.
5 things. Okay, I would say family, my spirituality,
Mm.
great friends, true friends, good food, opportunities.
And I'm glad you started off with family because, again, it goes back to what we were kind of talking about a few minutes ago, which is having that support system, that circle, and being surrounded by love and positivity and just abundance, being embraced.
Yep,
It's a beautiful thing.
it is.
All right, fashion dolls. It's time for holiday this or that. So Ryan's going to have two choices. Keep Which one would you get rid of? You got to keep one, and you get rid of the other choice. Okay,
Okay.
so you got two choices. The first choice is broken tree lights, because sometimes some people will keep them because there's a few lights on the lights that will
Mhm.
work, and then there's some that are broken. All right, and then the second one is old Christmas cards.
Well, I guess because I actually do it, I hold on to my old Christmas cards. So I'll keep that and throw away the lights because the lights are supposed to give that little bit of ambiance to the place. And if it's broken, some spaces are dark, some places are bright. It's not great. But the
It's going to
card,
be everything,
right,
right?
right. But the cards, I actually hold on to some because sometimes people put a little bit more than just Happy Holidays in it, and those messages sometimes it may come across it like a year down the road, but you open it and read it, it was like you said so much love in that message that it kind of makes you kind of the day is lifted or the moment is lifted. You just feel better. So hold on to those memories because sometimes you can throw them away 5 years down the road, but you never know. In 30 days you may pick it up and it just may flip the whole script. So
Yes.
yeah.
And I keep my holiday cards as well as my birthday cards as well too. Me too. Old Christmas cards are great memories, especially after the giver has passed. Yes, like my sister has passed back in
Mm.
August of 2018.
Sorry
She
to hear that.
made this birthday card for me. Thank you. And I still got it. I found it when I was going through all my birthday cards each year and from 18 to 19 to 20. And I found the one that she gave me. This was back in 2014. And still to this day, I'm looking at it as beautiful. So cherish those memories. You get to see the person who's passed on, handwriting and everything.
Right.
All right. Other two choices, fashion dolls. Now, some of you might agree with these choices, some of you might not. Don't eat me up. Okay. Unused baking supplies or unwanted novelty gifts. And unwanted novelty gifts can be that Santa Claus candle that you know you're not going to use that's just been sitting there that somebody gifted you last year. So, which one would you give away? Which one would you get rid of, and which one would you keep?
I think I would give away the novelty items only because every year they kind of it's like an update to those things. So it may some may have sentimental value to you, and that's your choice. But for me, I think those can be replaced. While the baking goods, mama's old cast iron pot, is still great years down the road. So always make some good recipes in there. So trust me, I'll take that.
All right, fashion dolls. Um, Other two choices. Okay, excessive ornaments or ugly Christmas sweaters. And I know a few people are just like, okay, really, it's worse than a lump of coal in your stocking. And some people are like, okay, is this a joke? What kind of sweater is
Mm.
this? Some people don't. So two choices: keep one and get rid of one. If you had one choice, excessive ornaments or the ugly Christmas sweater.
Well, only because I actually in life I've never received an ugly sweater. So I'm gonna put those to the side because it's a good old shirt. Yeah, it's great. But the ornaments, sometimes people actually have those ornaments that are like maybe like a person's picture or something like a
Oh
cube or
yeah.
something. And you can engrave it, and it can be so much more than just a ball. So those have, I think, a lot more value than just some sweater. So I throw away the sweater.
And Ray says she unused novelty items. I love to bake. So you would keep the baking, Ray, and you would get rid of the novelty items. Yes, because they're just sitting around. And some people will get literally see the gift when your friend comes over and they see the gift sitting there somewhere and you forgot to put it away. It's just like, oh God, I forgot I still had this. I don't want them to know that I'm giving this away or getting rid of it.
Mhm.
And they're just like, well, you didn't use the gift that I gave you. It's like unnecessary, like culture boards. What is it? Culture boards,
Yeah,
and it could be a toaster. It could be anything unused that you know you've already got one of that you feel works better.
right.
Okay, so these two choices, and we kind of gotten into a little blunder over this. Okay, which one would you prefer? Giving someone a gift card or a gift that you picked out?
Oh, definitely. A gift I've given out is way more important because that's brain work. That's coming from the heart, and it could be something as simple as, okay, I'll say this. My sister, she's that type of person to where a gift from her has to be personalized.
Yeah.
So because she knows I'm in theater, she got me a black T-shirt, but on it, how they have that saying, straight from Compton. Mine says straight from rehearsal. So
Okay.
right, so it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So I think those gifts are always better to hold on to, or to just make sure that I give them out, because that's I thought about that, and I really I cherish those, to be honest.
And with the gift cards, a lot of people are just like, okay, I like gift cards or whatever. But there's nothing better than picking out a present for someone that, going through, because I like Pinterest. And
Mm.
I just seen the Pinterest commercial today. Um, and they were saying you can go through someone's pins. And if they have something on there that you know that they like,
Mm.
you can try to pick that out and get it for them, surprise them. So it's different things. Find out what the person likes, their interests are, and then kind of maneuver for that if you decide to pick them out a gift. And then surprise them with it. There's nothing better than picking out something from your heart and they know that you put your heart into it. Whereas a gift card, yay, for theater folks, I have my bachelor's degree in musical theater.
Ooh,
Congratulations,
okay.
lady. Great. Don't buy PBC gift cards. So everybody's saying don't get the gift cards. And I kind of agree because my fraternal, my Island Yankee said this
Mm.
um just not too long ago with one of my previous guests. Gift cards is like giving someone something who already has everything. And if you know that they already have something, give them something else. Give them something that they really, really wanted, that their heart's desires for. And I know
Right.
my mom is a jewelry fanatic. She loves earrings.
Mm.
And she's seen these beautiful pearl earrings in the store. And I got them for her last year. So it's all about finding the little things that people want to cherish and remember. I could have easily went and got her a bottle of perfume from Dillard's or wherever. But let's, find things that you know that she really, really wants, because if the person gets the gift and they don't like it, it's like feel bad and just like, oh my God. So don't fake the fun. Make sure it's from the
Right.
heart.
Right. I'll give you one gift I gave somebody. It wasn't a Christmas gift, it was a Valentine's Day thing. But so I'll just put it out there because it really did come from the heart. You know how sometimes somebody can put like a riddle as a picture and say, can you figure out what this sentence is from these pictures? I did that to someone and I took roses and I spelled out the word will, a picture like roses at maybe on a different bush. I put U, like a big U, and I put roses on like another area of the property I was living on, and I made like just a letter V, and then I had I had a big cue card with Valentine, and my face was above it like this. So when I told her the riddle is, you put all that together, and what does it say? She took some time to figure it out, and she realized I was saying, "Will you be my Valentine?" And because when she figured it out and it hit her, it was like, yes. And I was like, well, I'm glad that worked.
It is precious. It's beautiful. These are things to cherish. These are things to cherish from the heart.
Right.
Especially as you mentioned, sentimental. With the cooking utensils. If you know, like grandmother's great skillet, like you've mentioned,
Mhm.
those things have been handed down to generation to generation. You cherish them. And I know my mom has given me some things. She gave me this prayer journal, and I cherish it. So it's called Our Daily Bread Prayer Journal, and I write down, just my little scripture for the day and a thought or quote or two in there. And she told me to cherish this with your heart. If you feel like you've encountered something amazing, you put it down in that journal. So sentimental, all of those things are the type of things that you would cherish. And that's what people need for the Christmas
Yeah.
holidays. So definitely.
Yeah. Just give your heart out. I mean, there's nothing better than to have someone surprise you with something. It could be just a random day. Just some good love. No matter who you are, everything about you is so unique and special and deserves to be cherished and give that to other people as well. So definitely, just have fun.
Absolutely. I'm gonna throw a bonus one in here for the holiday this or that. Now, for the holidays, we know we love our holiday desserts, whether it's a cinnamon roll or whatever. So, two choices here. Which one would you keep and eat, and which one would you get or give away? All right, fruitcake or a nice cinnamon roll.
I think half of my friends are laughing right now. Whoever's on here, because I'm a big foodie, and when it comes to that, my name is in the same sentence as any plate that they can dish up. Um, because you gave those two options, I'm gonna say the fruitcake I'm gonna keep only because I'm Caribbean, so and I'm Jamaican. So when I hear fruitcake, I think of the black cake. I don't know if you know about the black cake.
I know
It's very
what you're talking about.
it's just a cake. It has fruits inside of it, maybe some rum, some juices and
Yeah,
spices and things. And my grandmother used to actually make it from scratch. Like she used to grow everything in her garden in the backyard, pick it off, marinate it in rum and juices and spices, then make the cake with it and give it to the family. So if it's not homemade grandmother's, rum cake or fruit cake, period, kind of gives that nostalgia feeling to me. So definitely, fruit cake man all the way.
again, nothing better than a homemade meal, that family experience of seeing grandma or mom in the kitchen working with the ingredients and everything, and just learning like that at a young age. It's amazing. And Ray says fruitcake. Some of the audience were just like, yuck, no, no, not for me. I'll take the cinnamon rolls. So I I tried peace. My father tried to get me to try peace when I was younger, and I just couldn't do it. I could not do it, honestly. But then I gave myself some cinnamon rolls. I love cinnamon rolls. Snickerdoodle, gingerbread, I can do that as well too.
Okay.
So again, baking is something great for the holidays as well too. So for people out there who, don't want to give a gift or two, bake something, make something amazing and cherish those memories. Do a gingerbread house together. That's a great
Okay.
way to spend time with the family also as well too.
Definitely.
And the last choice. Now, I know we kind of got into a blunder in the audience. We're kind of tussling over this one. Having family come to visit you for the holidays, or you go home and visit family for the holidays. Which choice?
Well, it's kind of 50-50 now because actually I have a home that they can come to. So so I would, before having this space, I would probably go visit them and try to see as many people as possible. I have people in Brooklyn, I have people in Long Island, I have family in Florida where I used to live for 13 years. And I try to fly up to them, once in a blue moon, but not for the holidays, but definitely to go see family, because it's not just seeing them. It's like I have memories and friends around the corner from them. So it's seeing them and then saying, "Hey, let me say hi to my friend who's right around the corner." And say, "Hey, grab a plate." So it's going to see people to me is a big thing. So I definitely always cherish that.
Yes. And bit of advice, while you're ahead, go ahead. I know my girl Ray says she's in Switzerland. Or Ray, you know what I'm talking about, girl, where it's like, when you're trying to book a flight to go home, I know the airports are going to be crazy for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So please make sure you go ahead and get your ticket in advance. That's my suggestion to you. Just throwing a little tips here and there, a little nugget out there so that you guys can be prepared. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because when it comes time to fly back home to go visit family and things, you're going to be in a blunder because the lines are going to be crazy and everything. So do it in advance. Make sure if you're at home in the comfort of your own home, book your ticket online, get your stuff in advance. I want them to come to me since I've been living overseas. My friends have become my family, and I like to share my American traditions with them. Yes, ma'am. I avoid flying to the States during holidays. I know it's crazy. And it's like you hardly have nowhere to stand. You're standing here with your luggage and everything, and the line is wrapped around the corner. So make sure that you book your stuff in advance. Definitely. And my brother's a traveler too. Like, he works with the airline and everything. So make sure you guys definitely go and purchase your tickets, invest, and book online.
Which airline does he work for?
He works for one in Charleston, actually. The one in Charleston, actually, yes. And he's in Charleston. I'm down here in another part of South Carolina. So it's easier for him to just drive home. Some people prefer to drive, some people prefer to fly. Now, if you're driving, you just make sure, because I know this year, 2022, gas prices were ridiculous. They were sky high through the roof. And I talked to my girlfriend Felicia about it not too long ago. And she was telling me, girl, did you see a couple months ago how the prices were in Texas for gas? I said, no, I didn't. I didn't see how they were. And they were almost $5. So please make sure that you are getting gas if you're going to drive home, and do those things to make it back in time to be with your family. Or if you're going to fly, book your tickets online in advance. And I like to book things in advance. I like to make sure that I'm set, booking everything.
And some of my friends are laughing as well, not laughing, but smiling, because they know I used to work for the airlines myself. So I used to work for Spirit Airlines, and just knowing the tips of the trade and those tricks and everything, I used to give advice to all my friends, the best days to book, the times to book, everything like that. So, and just how to beat the system, well, play the system, I guess I would say, and make it beneficial to you. So definitely.
Yes, definitely. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I booked 3. There you go. That's how you do it. It's basically like catching when, okay, let's say Best Buy is having the semi-annual sale on televisions and laptops. Y'all will be there for that. But when it comes when it comes to getting home and wanting to go home and fly, you wait at the last minute and you just kind of regret it. You go in the airport and you just kind of regret, like, my God, the lines are long. And everybody's trying to get home or your flight gets delayed. That's the worst.
Right.
And you're stuck at the
Yeah.
airport. That's the worst.
Canceled or yeah. Yeah.
Gas in California was $6.
Ooh,
See?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard 7 at one point. Well, yeah, 6 plus. So yeah, I saw 749. I think it was when I went somewhere, but I was like, over here was like 550 something at the most, and then started dropping down. But yeah, it's rough everywhere.
Please get your tickets, get your gas and stuff in advance. But there are other transportation options. Like there's the train, but you make sure again you get your tickets, go online, price everything, find something reasonable. There's so many websites where you can find reasonable tickets for travel and transportation on what you need to do and work out those arrangements, hotel arrangements, all of that, so that you will be set when it comes time to go home with your family or stay with a relative if a relative will allow you to stay with them during the holidays. Mom always welcomed me back home, so just as long as you do what you need to do, you know but absolutely, make sure that you're booked and set in advance, like Ray said. Book 3 months in advance. Again, it's like the semi-annual sales when you go in the shop, when we do Black Friday or whatever, and they announce Black Friday's coming. You have stuff from the summertime. Get it, during the winter months, so you already have it. So book in
Mhm.
advance.
Right, right. Book a season ahead almost. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Fashion Dolls, do we have any questions for Ryan or myself? That concluded our rendition of Holiday This or That. And I just seen my second guest coming here. I don't know if he's still here, Dante Fambro, who's also an actor. So you guys are getting 2 shows today. This one right here is the first one with Ryan, and the next one was Dante. And tomorrow you guys are getting 2 shows as well, too. Joining me tomorrow, we have Michael and James. Flights out of country are cheap right now compared to domestic. Rich, that is true. That is true. I can't stay with relatives because I don't sleep in clothes. Oh, okay. All right.
Did that.
I stay in hotels when I go back. I need my quiet space. Absolutely. And then sometimes because that happens, I had that happen to one of my family members not too long ago. Close to my brother's side. They came and they tried to stay with family and they couldn't. They had to literally come stay with us because they didn't have enough room in the house. And that happens from time to time. You have a lot of family. Y'all seen Home Alone. Y'all know what it's like where you all having to literally share a room or bunk up with the next family member. It's very uncomfortable because you have at least 4 or 5 brothers and one, and it's just like, okay, well, where am I going to sleep? So that happens. So make sure if you don't have any space, go ahead and book a hotel in advance.
Yeah, I remember back in the days in Brooklyn, we had about 30 people in my grandmother's home, and grandmother in-law, um, the in-laws, and we had people on the floor, the couch, the recliner, just sometimes the kitchen area. It was special though. So it wasn't like it was hard to do, but we are like, hey, family, come on in, let's pack it in there, let's make it work.
Absolutely. And it's good to be with family. It's uncomfortable because we happen to sleep one person on top of the next person on top
Right.
of the next person. We're having to make space, one person on the floor, on the couch, wherever. We're having to clear out the guest room and make room for the other family members. So, okay. We got a question for you from Ray. She wants to know, when is your next project coming out?
Okay. Um, it's called Love, Freedom, and Other Lives from the South. It's a play by J. Marshall Evans, and it's actually going to be put on at the Villagers Theater in Somerset, New Jersey. And it's the first weekend the last weekend in January and the first weekend in February. Those dates are going to be just jam-packed with fun, a love story set in slavery, not focusing on slavery, but it just happens to be in that time period. And it's a very intense piece. So if anybody wants to have fun and just come out and watch, please. It's a hard,
And,
it's a baby for a lot of us. It's an original piece too.
and it sounds groundbreaking. So make sure you guys go and check that out. And is there where can people go and purchase tickets if they like?
Try book innovations I believe. Demetrius is the producer, good friend of mine. He's right there. I see him. Dimitri, if that's not the website, please correct me. But I
What?
know it's Tribal
Wait
Innovations
a
is the
minute.
name. Yes,
Is that my
yes,
Demetrius? I interview him.
yes. You
That's my
have. Yes.
baby. Yes. So he's done Broadway. He's done stage work as well, too. Ladies and gentlemen, Demetrius Key. So please go and follow him and check him out. He's amazing.
Mhm.
So definitely drop it in the chat, Demetrius, and I'll pin it so that everybody, if they want to go and purchase their tickets now, because I know August Wilson's the piano player. Went the tickets have sold out. Everybody was trying to get in there to go see that play
Mhm.
because it was a big deal. It was kind of a big deal. So let
Welcome.
me pin that. So if you guys want to go and purchase your tickets, there you go. Tribal Innovations 2017. So go and check that page out. Get your tickets in advance so everyone can go and check it out. And it is almost 4 p.m. So Ryan, are there any final thoughts that you would like to leave us with? Any encouraging words to close out 2022 going into the new year for 23?
Whoever you are, no matter where you come from, what you're standing in right now, embrace it, learn more about it, because our culture and our histories are very important that sometimes just kind of get washed away. Use that to be a vessel of love to whoever is in front of you, no matter what they look like, creed, belief, anything. Just say, if I don't know you, I would like to get to know you. And you might even come across someone who has a very interesting story, because the person you're so used to right across the street is like, okay, that's my friend, I know you. But then his neighbor you've never spoken to probably come from a world of a background that is just can overwhelm you with facts and information and knowledge that is just beautiful. So please just love everyone. And on top of that, get a good plate of food. Because you can't talk to someone on an empty stomach.
All right, fashion dolls, and that is your final thought from Ryan Set, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ryan, for just giving us a few minutes of your time coming here in the dollhouse. And I had an awesome time with you. I told you we were going to have a good time.
Definitely.
And shout outs to Demetrius. Demetrius, is so good seeing you again, my love. And congratulations to Demetrius as well, too. Because when you said the name, I already knew who it was instantly. And when you
Right?
said the name, I didn't know. It's a small world.
Mm-hmm.
And I interviewed Demetrius back in 2021, and we had such a good time. Such a good time. At the time, I had curly hair, so it was a little bit different, but we had a good time. We always have a great time here on the platform.
Yeah, definitely. That's my brother.
Awesome interview. Thank you, Stevie and Ryan. You are so welcome, Ray. And you guys are getting some more. We have another guest coming up at 4 p.m. So go refresh your drinks, get some snacks. Dante Fambro, who's also going to be he's also an up and coming actor, is going to be here as well too. So make sure you guys tune in for that starting right now. And I will see you guys in a few. Take care, everyone, and thank you, Ryan. And good seeing you again, Demetrius, my love.
Thank you as well, Stevie.
You too.